Let's get into it right now. We've got a bunch of questions here. Very excited. The people want to know a lot about you, okay? So let's get into it. Firing from the hip here. First things first. A boy with a bag wants to know, what is your Taco Bell order? A boy with a bag, my man Cy. What up, Cy? Great question. What's my Taco Bell order? First off, back it up. Gotta give a shout out to my fiance, Maya Baker Olson. She is the queen of Taco Bell. She showed me how to order. I'm gonna hit you with this right now. Bang. Steak quesadilla. But check it out. Double cheese, double meat. Let's get it poppin'. I'm not done yet though. Cheesy gordita crunch. Hold up. Dorito Loco Taco. Get at me, Ramon. What you got? Delicious. Absolutely. We both know Taco Bell. It's its own type of Mexican, you know? It's its own type. It's like Chipotle. It's not really Mexican, but it's something special. Okay. No, I don't eat Taco Bell. I don't. That's just disrespectful. But I respect you for doing it. Fine. Next up, Yori Music wants to know, what's the biggest thing you've learned from artists by interviewing them on Sherman the Booth? Good question. Yori. Bennett, what up, brother? Great question. Biggest thing I've learned from interviewing artists on Sherman the Booth. No matter what, be unapologetically yourself. Always. Because your truth, your passion, your love for you and what you do will go the distance. Nothing else matters. And that's what people get on with, right? That's what people enjoy. They like to see someone who is themselves, right? That's not trying to be somebody else. And that's the fact that I've learned. And again, that's something to go back to one of the questions that I've learned about myself. I've seen and learned from artists that have been in the game so long. And for the most part, they've all done it the hard way. Worked really hard, but enjoyed the process. And that's what I've learned from artists the most. Next up, Music wants to know, best way to get your first gig in Chicago. How do you do it, Sean? Great question. Best way to get gigs in Chicago, and this probably applies to most cities in the US, let alone the world, is to know who is actually dishing out the gigs. Good advice, right? And don't be so forward about this shit, because this is a interpersonal business, right? And think about the long game always. So if there's a club or a venue that you like going to, or you've seen shows that you like, or artists that are playing there, look to see who the promoter is, right? Check the bottom of the flyer, whatever it is. Check to see who the supporting acts are. Like I said earlier, do you have any mutual friends with this person? Go to their Instagram. Who are they following, right? Try and get yourself a warm intro. What I would do is I would, before a show, shoot that person a message, say, hey, I'm coming to the show. I'm super excited. You know, if you got 5 minutes, I just wanted to introduce myself. That's it. Don't be so fucking forward about this shit, right? That's stuff that I like to see. People that are really putting it in and are just coming out to have a good time. They're not trying to use me or trying to get a gig, so to speak, right? Eventually your opportunity will come. And that's why I say time and time again, make sure you enjoy the process of what you're doing, because it's a short fucking high if you're going to try and get that shit too quickly. So in order to get your first gig, plain and simple, identify the decision makers and make yourself known in the most positive way possible. Next up, here we go. DJ Betts, Oficial, wants to know, how'd you get into A&R with Hood Poly? Tell us, man. We want to know. I want to know. DJ Betts, how did I get involved with A&R at Hood Poly? Man. So I kind of came to the realization that A&R is something that I was born to do. You know, through the podcast, I've done so much discovery. There's really no layers to who I want to have on the show, right? Like, I've had people with 50,000 followers on. I've had people with 500 followers on. I don't really care who you are, but if you're passionate about what you do and you're in this for the long haul, then I want to know you. I want to help you, because I'm trying to do that, right? And I have a lot of people to be thankful for, because I believe they've seen that in me. So with A&R specifically, right, this is a lot bigger than just reviewing demos, and I think that's something that I wish people knew as well. My friend Brett Bassick, who I had on the show, has been doing A&R and artist management for a long time, and I learned a lot from him when I interviewed him. It's so much more than that, right? Artist and repertoire is what it stands for. So you're doing discovery, right? You're doing publishing, you're doing demo reviews, you're doing brand building a little bit, right? Like, who is this artist and what are they trying to do? So with Hood Poly specifically, I saw that there was a role that really needed to be filled. DJ Susan and Nutty and More Than Friends are really, some of the main guys that are doing everything, but they need more people in order to help grow. So I approached them and said, hey, I'm super passionate about, finding new artists and giving them a chance to grow. And I'm a hard worker and I'm really organized, and you guys get a lot of demos. I don't know that process, but I'd love to help at least just listen to them, put the best ones in front of you. So that's kind of how it started. And obviously done a great job of that so far, and I take it very seriously, but I have a ton of fun with it. So now we're at a point where we're building out a team and just trying to take over as one of the people who really helps put the best music on the label possible, while also considering, the artist who's going to be getting that opportunity. So it's really exciting for me. Great question. Shout out to the Hood Politics Records gang. Next up, at Matt Harter, he asked 1, 2, 3, 4. He asked 5 questions. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 of them. All right, here we go. What is your favorite set of all time that you've been to? Favorite set that I've ever been to? Dude, I don't know, Harder. Why would you? That's such a tough question. There is one that I always do think about, because I just remember being like, wow, this is so sick. And it was really in my younger days when it was a little more easy to impress. I'm not trying to say anything about this, but Diplo at Spring Awakening, like 2013, I think it was just like mind-blowing to me. It was a true Diplo set. He played everything. It was trap, it was rap, it was house, it was techno, it was big room. And I was just like, damn, can this guy control a crowd? Like, unbelievable. And all my friends going crazy. Everybody around was going crazy. And I just really always vividly remember that. I will give you guys a house and techno answer, though, of course. Loco Dice back-to-back the Martinez brothers at Movement was like just nuts. I mean, those are like 3 of the freaking coolest guys in the game. And just was like, damn it, I'll never be this good. But that was pretty sick, too. Good question, Matt. My favorite set of all time? Not the DJ. Ricky Martin in his prime. 2001. I was at the show. Unbelievable South Beach night. Huh? Blacked out. I know it was the best night of my life, though. Unbelievable. Ricky, if you're out there, give me a call. I've got some ideas for your growth in the future. You're not done yet, my man. One more question from Matt Arthur. How did you know back in 2016 that house music was going to take over? Did you know? Dude, listen. House music is very big right now. But you got to remember, it's always been big. It just continues to grow. And I'm so glad that it has, because there's never been a better time to be a house music fan, let alone a DJ or producer in the game. 2016, special time in house music, though, because it was really before the cusp of where we're at now. I got so into it, man. I talked about this recently. I went to Crossed and heard a rolling bass line for the first time live. And it just changed my perspective on how you can enjoy music, how you can enjoy the experience of going to a live show, and the energy that you can get not only from the music itself, but the people in the crowd. I just wanted everybody else to experience that. So I started taking all my friends to house shows, and they quickly understood the same things. So, I feel like I got lucky, honestly, Matt. I feel like I did, to really have become a big fan. What's now, 5-6 years ago. In the grand scheme of things, that's nothing compared to some people who have dedicated almost their entire life to house music. But I didn't know for sure, bro. I didn't. But I knew that I loved it, and I wanted to share that with everybody else. So it's the best I can give you, man. I didn't know for sure, though, but I sure am glad we're here now. Next up, Roxy EE. I think I said that right. Is music your full-time job now? And if it's not, is it hard to balance professional and music life? Tell us. What up, Roxy? No, music is not my full-time job. I have been working in logistics since July 2015. It is a job that is 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. And for those that work in logistics, knows that it is really 24/7. Freight never stops moving. And yeah, it's tough. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm so grateful that I work at such a great company. It's the only company I've ever worked at professionally. And I'm blessed to have so many peers that support me there as well, from my coworkers on my same level up to upper management. I DJ all our holiday parties and other events and stuff too, and a lot of my coworkers and friends from the company come out to the shows. So it's really tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, the job is demanding, and it's pretty high intensity. But it's helped me out a lot, actually, with the podcast and just relationships in general. I work as a sales rep. So, you know, I'm building new business. I'm landing new customers. I'm managing relationships internally and externally. And I'm having big meetings and just being a businessman. Jesus, I mean, it's insane. Trust me, I get it. But it is really important to me to have that steady paycheck because it's given me the ability to have upgrades to my podcast studio like this, and not have to worry too much about getting paid for gigs on time, and all the little things that really become a big deal when you don't have that consistency. And I've talked to a lot of people that are on both sides of this conversation. But to me personally, it's always been important for me to have that consistency. Oh, I bet it is. I don't really have an answer for you on how I do it. I just have a routine and I try and stick to it. And I always try and enjoy the process of what I'm doing. So, yeah, it's the best I can give you, Roxy. It's not easy, but it is fun. Okay, Sherm. Another fan with a lot of questions here. Ms. Wiz. We've got a lot here, okay? I got 9 questions, I think. I'm going to give you 3 or 4. I'm just going to go rapid fire. You ready? Here we go. What inspires you, Sherm? Ms. Wiz, what up? I am inspired by so much. I am inspired by the people of Chicago and the scene here. I really mean it when I say that I have so much to be thankful for, because this city and the people have given me so much. And that always continues to drive me day in, day out, because you know I've been lucky enough to build up a following here, and people that want to see me DJ, and people that want to hear my podcast, and people that want to spend time with me, and I'm forever grateful for that. So I'm definitely inspired by the people in this city and the city itself. Also very inspired by some of my peers as artists, Flaninho, DJ Susan, and so many people that I've had on the podcast. They are just go-getters, but they do it with a smile on their face, and they work so hard. And, you know, I am a little competitive in the sense where if I see someone working hard, I feel like, well, if they can do it, then I can do it too. But what I've realized is it's not competitiveness. It's really a collaboration that I share with a lot of these people that I'm so inspired by, because I've helped them, they've helped me, and it's a shared process. So I would say, honestly, yeah, the city of Chicago, the people in it, and my closest peers are the ones that inspire me, and of course, my friends and family. Who's an artist you want to work with? An artist I want to work with? There's lots of layers to this question. Let's go producer. I'd love to make a track with Sid. Back to back. I'd love to go back to back with John Summit. If it's have someone on the podcast, probably Pasquale Rotea. Yeah, those are good answers. What's the longest you've ever been on stage for? Dude, I had some longer sets, plenty of 5-hour sets, but the longest I've ever been on stage was probably last summer with DJ Susan, Chris Diaz, Flaninho, Jake Shore Drive. We played like an 8.5-hour set at number 9. We started at 8 p.m. I think we went till 5 a.m. It was wild. It was wild. I ran through the whole entire Hood Poly discography. We had nothing left. And last one, where was your first show? First show? Oh my gosh. It was at Dunkirk in Bloomington, Illinois, and I opened for Milk and Cookies from 9 p.m. to 9:45, and I had every single song planned out, and I still think it was one of the best sets of my life. Okay, next up. Good question here. Align Music wants to know, who is your favorite Chicago producer, and why is it Align? Good one. Good setup, Align. I like that. Who is your favorite Chicago producer, Sherm? Let's see. Favorite Chicago producers? First off, James, come on. Good question. You know you're one of them. Align is so talented, one of my favorites in the game. You know, a lot of producers here have blown up and blown up to the sense that they need to move to grow. And that's amazing. So I guess I'll just answer the question for people I know still live in Chicago. Absolutely Flaninho. Without a doubt, Maximo Quinones, Jake Shore Drive. I love Down Low as well. I mean, the list goes on and on. I also love Apollo XO, Christos, Sansis. My God, I mean, there's so many talented producers here. This is a home of house music, baby, and the barrier to entry has become so low. So there's a lot of youngsters out there that are getting into the game. But those are some of my favorites for sure, and I'm always dropping their music too because they're that special. Next up, Kyle Lutz 4 just says AC Slater, no question, statement. It just says AC Slater? That's a statement. Yes, night bass for life. Put your hands up. Put your hands up in the air. Next up, Alex Kislov. What episode was the most influential? Alex Kislov, much love. Great question. What's the most influential episode? There's so many. I think all of them have their own influence in one way or another. We talked a lot about mental health on the show, which is amazing, and it's a very important topic in dance music, let alone in general. But when you say the word influential, Danny Deal immediately comes to mind. She's such an important pillar of influence, not only in Chicago, but really in the whole music community. And she's done so many great things to raise awareness for LGBTQ and women's rights and really giving people opportunities that normally don't get one, and shedding a light on the negative aspects of the industry. And I think that's so important to talk about. So I would definitely say the Danny Deal episode, and the fact that we did that live in Chicago in front of a live audience was all the more reason that it was influential. So mad respect to Danny Deal. Okay, Sherm, next up. Looks to be another big fan of the podcast at Chris Diaz Music. He has 4 questions. Maybe let's give you them all. Out of all the people you've interviewed, who's had the biggest nose? The biggest nose? Is it Chris? It's obviously Chris Diaz. How many Chicago handshakes have you taken in your entire life? How many? How many Chicago handshakes have I taken in my... Oh my God, I don't know. Too many. Probably 100. I don't know. I think so. Yeah. 100. What can't Sherm do? Chris, what can't I do? I'll tell you what I can't do. Sleep in. I can't sleep in. I want to so badly. I have to be out really, really late to sleep in, but because I've had the day job for all these years, I have this internal clock that gets me up at 7, 8 a.m. And yeah, it kind of sucks, but that's what I can't do, sleep in, unfortunately. And last one, what is Sherm's 5-year plan? 5 years from now, my man, where do you see yourself? Damn it, Chris, you and your damn questions. Love you though, brother. 5-year plan, man, in 5 years, I'm going to have a very happy life. 2 golden retrievers, ideally. You're going to be living with my fantastic future wife, Maya. I will still be living in Chicago, not in the burbs, Chicago for sure. I hope to have a really, really thriving music career where all my income is coming from music. I hope to be working at a Hood Politics Records office, an actual office, and I hope that I'm happy. That's the plan. It's the plan. It's all hopes, though. We try and do what we can in life. So that's what I'm looking for, though. Okay, before we move on, I do want to say, vision-wise, I can see pretty well. I can see pretty well out of these sunglasses. Okay, pretty good. Let us know in the comments if you like these, because I like them. Anyway, next up, Max Wagner wants to know, when can we go back to back? You and Max, when? Max, I'd love to go back to back with him. He's been doing great. This is another DJ who's worked really, really hard to try and make a name for himself and has gotten great gigs, has asked a lot of questions, and I love that, man. And I hear you're a great DJ, and I look forward to going back to back with you one day soon. Next up, Ben Happ. When will the Indianapolis Colts pick up Matt Ryan? Didn't that just happen? I'm not much of a sports guy, but I think I saw something. Ben Happ, that's my brother. Shit. You asked that question before they actually picked him up, so that's pretty impressive. Glad they did, though. Any Colts fans out there? Please, God, can we get past the first round of the playoffs, let alone make the playoffs? I'm just dying for that. It is so tough to be an Indiana sports fan. It's like we're good enough always to either just make the playoffs or lose the last game and not get in it. I'd almost rather be fucking bad to get some sick draft picks here and there, but nope. So I'm a realistic Colts fan, I call it. Hoping Matt Ryan can bring us somewhere that finally gets us to half the level of Peyton Manning. Cheers. Next up, Chandler. Favorite festival and year? Good question. Tell us. Chandler. Favorite festival and year? I don't know. So many great festivals. Been to a lot of amazing ones here in Chicago. Lollapalooza always, of course, is like a very like wild festival because it's like in your backyard here. But I gotta say, honestly, Movement. The first time I went, I think it was it would have been 2017. It was so sick, like just like pounding techno for like 72 hours. It just made you crave it. It was kind of weird. Like, oh, you're there. You're like, it's kick after kick. But it was really eye opening to me because the city of Detroit has so much history. Went to all the after parties, the people there, the music, the DJs, the sets they played. It was my favorite because it just was like so fucking raw. Love Movement. And she also wants to know, what is your dream venue to play at, Sherm? Which venue? All across the world. My dream venue to play at? Oh, man. So I'm a bit of a venue geek over the years. Just like seeing different venues that big DJs play at and how historical they are. I would say probably in the U.S., let's just keep it that. I would say the Brooklyn Mirage. Yeah, that'd be so dope. I got a lot of New York roots, and I've always wanted to play there. It's just like a wild place, and it's obviously like so fucking sick. So I would say the Brooklyn Mirage. I hope that happens one day. Next up, at Chinese Boy. I don't know how you say zero. Chinese Boy Zero Y. Perfect. When are you going to hire me as your tour manager? You need a tour manager, Jim? You don't want to hire Ramon? You don't want to hire Ramon? Sorry, Ramon. I'm not going to hire you for anything other than stopping by every 100 episodes. Okay, fine. That's fine. I understand. I would say Ray Aryu is my tour manager when I'm touring. How about that? Next up, Studebaker 1. Is that your dad? What do you feel you do better in podcast 1 to 200 versus 1 to 100? What won't you repeat? Good question, Studebaker. That is my dad. He listens to every episode. Appreciate you, Dad. Love you. Man, I've learned a lot over the course of Sherman the Booth. Obviously, with the process itself, what won't I repeat? I will always make sure that I'm prepared. It's not that I wasn't prepared in the beginning, but it's really, really important to me that I am on my game and I'm ready to go and I'm mentally there and I've had my questions ready and I've done my full-fledged research and I go into that interview thinking I've given it my best and I'm ready for this. And I think in the beginning when you start anything, not even to your own fault, you kind of half-ass it. So I'll never half-ass it again for sure. I give it my 100%. Next up, Sherman Mom 1. Is that your mom? How have you had personal success grown between SITB 0 to 100 and 1 to 200? I think they were sitting next to each other when they were asking the questions. This seems a little bit similar, but I do think it's still possible to answer. Do your best. Yes, that is my mom, and I'm sure they were sitting next to each other. Personal success. Good question, Mom. Love you too. Personal success, I think on top of my last answer, when the interview ends and I get a message right after or whatever it is, a really good experience from that guest after I've released the episode, that's when I personally feel like I've succeeded, when I've given them a great experience. I say it almost every episode of the podcast. It doesn't really matter to me how many people listen. What matters to me is, was this a enjoyable and fun and informative conversation? Did I learn something? And did this person have fun? So that's always personally a successful moment for me when I do get that sort of feedback. So that would be my answer. Okay, next up, I like this question. Lauren Book. Who is your dream collab? Maybe Diplo, Fisher, Chummy? Tell us. Dream collab, Lauren? Diplo, Fisher, Chummy? Good examples. Man, I mentioned Diplo earlier, and he's just killing it right now with his label Higher Ground and all the music he's been releasing and his new album too. I'm so inspired by him. I would say Diplo for sure. I mean, I don't know what I'd bring to the table in the studio, but I would certainly do my best. Okay, I like this one from the superstar DJ Susan at Susie's house. Plans for Hood Poly. What are your plans for Hood Politics, Sherm? DJ Susan. Plans for Hood Poly. Next question. Oh, man. We've got some big plans. We're taking over, but as we take over, we're spreading love, positive influence. We are redefining dance music culture as what we believe it should be. Just a shared experience amongst all. And that's what Hood Politics is all about. I'm so inspired by what they've built, and the plans for the future are just to continue to bring people in to our circle and let them know this is just one big family. So that's what we're trying to do, man. There's really nothing too specific about it. We just want to spread love and good energy and let everyone know that if you are part of the Hood Politics family, if you're a fan, if you've released on the label, whatever it might be, you are welcome and you are loved, and that's what it's all about. Okay, next up, Alex Wolf, the DJ. How can smarter DJs begin to enter the festival circuit? Festival, Sherm. And not just the shows, not just the bars, not just the venues. The big lights, the big stage. How do you do it? Alex Wolf, good question. And this is a question I get a lot. And this is something that I'm still trying to figure out myself for the most part. I'm lucky enough to have played some festivals. North Coast being the biggest, and how that happened was just earning my stripes. And if you live in a big city, there's likely a very big festival that you can play at. So like I said about getting your first gigs, identify the decision makers, make yourself known in a positive way, see how you can help them, and above all, have a great brand and make something unique about yourself. If you don't make music, are you a great DJ, and why are you a great DJ, and how have you put yourself out there? It's so important to be known in the world and in your local scene, especially too, on social media, on the internet, whatever it is. So I'd recommend that you make it impossible for people not to know you. And that's usually how you get yourself booked at festivals, because a festival is run by a company that's running a business, and a business needs to make money. And how do they make money? They sell tickets to their festival. So why are they going to book you? Because you're going to sell tickets. It's pretty simple when it comes down to brass tacks like that, but that would be my recommendation, my man. Okay, next up, Saximilian. Some good questions here. Let's give them all to you, huh? When does it make sense to bring on a manager if you're an artist? Good question. Saximilian, what's up, brother? When does it make sense to bring on a manager if you're an artist? So there's one thing that I've learned, and my cousin has actually been in the music industry for a long time, and he was a manager. And he told me a manager is defined by having something to manage, right? If I'm an artist and I want a manager because I think it'll help me get gigs, that's not a manager. You need to be doing that yourself, and also that's an agent. A manager manages a tour. A manager manages an album release. A manager manages your social media. You have to be the one creating those opportunities. Manager needs to make money too, right? They're not just going to do this for no reason. There are certainly people out there that, might want to help you out and things like that. But are they an official manager? Maybe not. So when you know you need a manager is when you need help managing something, right? Like managing the podcast, managing your releases of any sort, right? So that would be my answer to you is when you feel like there's something that you want to focus on but don't have the ability to manage it anymore. So that'd be the most simple answer for you. This one, A&R Hood Politics related. How do you decide what tracks to sign on Hood Poly? Any key criteria? There's a lot. I'll be honest with you. And I probably should make a separate video about this, and I'm going to. I'm looking for quality production. I'm looking for a little bit of personality in your email. I'm looking for a unique track, something that's not like the rest. And I want it to be obvious that you care about releasing on Hood Politics. You know, if it's a little thing like the cover art is our logo. Like I said, if it's a little bit of an email talking about why you want to release on Hood Politics, that matters to me. And I know that matters to the rest of the team too. So when it comes to the actual overarching aspect of your track, I want it to be impactful to you if you're going to release on our label because, you know, we're the platform, right? We're giving you a lot. So not only do we want good music that you're giving us, but we want really you to care about releasing on our label and not us just be a vehicle for that. So that'd be my best piece of advice for any people out there that are trying to release on labels. And that goes into a lot of my other answers too. Develop those relationships with the people you know that are making those decisions and make a good track. Last one, and I want to know this too. Who does your beard lineup? Who does it? You always looking so good. I know, it's always looking so good, right? My man Jose Luis at Van Buren Gentlemen's Salon. And ladies and gentlemen, could I sell this all day long? This is the fact. I've been going to Jose Luis for 6 years now, every 2 weeks. This guy knows me better than 99% of people. He is amazing. I don't know where I'd be in life without him, honestly. And I really mean that. He's just helped me with my self-confidence and helped me with my beard and my hair and my fucking neck hair and shit. Ridiculous. But Jose Luis is the man. And yeah, for sure. I would say you got to take care of your look if you want to feel good. He always says, you look good, you feel good. And that's a fact. Well, I'm going to need to go to Jose Luis then. Next one. From a local superstar, Zoe Glass. How can we elevate local DJs from our scene to the national stage? Love that question. Zoe Glass, Seamus, one of my favorite locals here, and that's such a great question. How do we elevate our local scene here to get them on the national stage? And it's sort of an answer that I had earlier. The city of Chicago has given me so much, and I know a lot of DJs here that kind of take it for granted. This is the home of house music. This is one of the biggest cities in the world. And when you tell people you're a Chicago DJ or a Chicago house DJ that are not from Chicago, they are astounded, right? So it's so important that you build up your following here and really connect with your fans on a local level because they are the ones who are going to get you to that national level. And in turn, you're going to get the respect from other locals here that have been doing it longer than you. That's a guarantee, right? Because this isn't easy. And a lot of people have been working for years to try and get opportunities, not only on the local level, but on the national level. And Seamus is someone that I have so much respect for. He's thrown his own events. He's built up his following here, and he has so much demand for him to play. That's how he's going to get to the national level. So I answered that question for him specifically. He knows I'm his biggest fan, but that goes really across the city in most cities, I would say. If you want to get from a local to a national level, you got to be the man in your city. And how do you be the man in your city? You've earned the respect of your peers and the fans. So, I hope to one day be one of the lucky people who have worked hard enough to get on a national level. But right now, I'm enjoying the shit out of making my mark in Chicago. So that would be my answer for you, my friend. I'm going back to these. I like these sunglasses a little bit more. Not 100%, but 92%. So let me know in the comments if you like these too. Here we go. Next up, Local Singles Official. What gave you the idea to start Sherm in the booth? What idea? Local Singles, my boys. What gave me the idea to start Sherm in the booth? kind of answered it earlier, but it was really hard for me to make myself known in the industry. And the best way to get to know people is not at the club. Believe it or not, it's one-on-one conversations. So I started the podcast so that I can meet people locally in the industry, not to get gigs, not to get anything, but really just to understand, the process and learn more about why people are involved in the industry. Because I was brand new, right? Like people I was interviewing have been in the industry for 5 years, if not more. Why are they still in it? What do they like about it? What do they not like about it? So I wanted to learn. And that's why I started Sherman in the booth. They have a follow-up question. Those local singles guys, both rip mustaches. Yeah? I'll answer that one. Yeah. Cheers, boys. Cheers. Next up, longtime fan, D. Wiley 21. This is a good one. If you have a case of beer and a fifth of alcohol, Jesus Christ, you're getting fucked up. What DJ could you see for 10 hours straight? First off, no way you could party for 10 hours straight with that much alcohol. But we want to know, is there one that you could? Dean, as long as you're there with me doing this, bro. 10-hour set. Chris Lake. Yeah. Chris Lake for sure. Seen him many times in different types of venues. He always rips it. He could do a 10-hour set that would go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and I would be entertained the whole time. And I'd be having fun too. So, fuck it. I'll do it. Hey, let's do that. Is that possible, Dean? Okay, this one's good too. John Alfaro. How the fuck do you got a day job, do hood poly, make music, and Sherm in the booth? Do you sleep? Do you sleep, Sherm? Good question, John. I do sleep. I get my sleep. Like I said, I can't sleep in though. I just do it, man. Like I said, I have a routine. I go to my day job every day. I have my plans for after work. Where I really actually get a lot of my stress relief is I cook dinner, put my phone away. Takes me about 30 minutes to an hour, and that's really my break. I don't watch a ton of TV shows. I love TV and movies and stuff, but I usually do that when I'm with my fiance and have some free time. But you got to get in a routine, man. Anybody can do this. Honestly, you just have to be super committed, and you have to follow through, and you have to know that there's going to be some times when you don't want to do it, but you have to treat it like a job. So, push through and always get your sleep too, bro. Come on. You got to get your sleep. People that don't, you crazy. The West Burger up next. Heard this guy's a good guy. How are we going to get this thing to the next galaxy? What is that in reference to? What the hell? How are we going to get what to the next galaxy? Wes is a good guy. Love you, brother. Jeez, how are we gonna get to the next galaxy? He's talking about Hood Poly. And Wes, we're gonna get this to the next galaxy by building an incredible team. And again, just want to mention what Hood Politics is trying to do, and that's make a massive impact on the dance music industry, a positive impact at that. So we're going to get this thing in the next galaxy by continuing to build this team and hopefully building a dedicated following that grows with us, because we're so committed to the culture, and that's what it's all about to us. So we just got to keep building this team, brother. I'm glad I'm with you, though. Next question, like this one too. Underrated venues and bars for house music in Chicago. Where? Underrated. Not the ones we all know. Underrated venues for house music in Chicago. I'll give you two good ones. One, Le Nocturne. Shout out to my guy Francois. Absolutely incredible. It's in Uptown, right near the Aragon Ballroom. Fantastic place. Definitely one of the best sound systems in Chicago, and in my opinion, the best DJ booth in Chicago. Unbelievable. And played a lot of events there. His venue was so instrumental during the pandemic as well. Had live streams there that donated to charities of all kinds. Always was live streaming, and he takes this very seriously, and he's a guy who deserves a lot of credit too. I will also say downstairs a Rock Bar gets fucking poppin' in River North. I played some wild shows there, and it always seems to be so busy, and you can play house unapologetically. So that'd be two of my favorite places. Here we go. Next up, Ali Sherp. Wild animal. I party with this guy. He is fun as hell. Yes, my man. Here we go. He just wanted to say nothing. Just wanted to say hi. And you're a legend. What a nice guy. Al just wanted to say I'm a nice guy. Man, I got to give this guy a shout out. And this is one of those people that makes me love Chicago. Al came here. I think he just moved here actually in last summer. And has just come in and been welcomed by the house community for all the best reasons, because he's truly a person that comes from just a love of community and music. And man, this guy loves to party too, and he's so much fun. So, dude, mad love, brother. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that so much. I'm so glad that we've met and become good friends. And Sherm, the last question we have here from your audience. Ace Bandit wants to know, what was your first show? And I know you answered this already. How about this? What was your first big show where you were like, okay, things are going in the right direction? Ace Bandit, good question. I did answer it a little bit earlier, but there's no way for you to have known that, and I appreciate that. Like I said, it was in college at Dunkirk. But, Ramon, good little add-on there. I will say for sure, immediately came to mind, and this is the right answer. Concord Music Hall, October 2019, I opened for Walker and Royce and Shiba San at Concord Music Hall. I agree. And it was sick. I played an hour and a half set. It was sold out. The crowd was wild. I got to play true house. I didn't have to worry about what to play. I got to just do my thing, and I loved it. And I remember just being like, this is a great venue to play at. This is where you want to play. And it was kind of like a boiler room style too. So I was like up on this platform in the middle. So that was so sick. It was like very, very meaningful to me as like a house DJ that's been trying to play shows like that for years. So, man, you just kind of wait your turn sometimes and opportunities come. I found out about that gig Wednesday and I played on Friday. So that's how it goes. Man, do I love Sherman the booth. Oh, hey, I think you do too. Hope you enjoyed that piece of content. If you're looking for more, make sure to go to my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any upcoming Sherman the Booth interviews, live sets, new music, exclusive artist interviews, Sherm's Word, sub-pack reviews, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything entertainment. Cheers.